In the last video, we looked at how you can add a medication to a patient and record details that are pertinent to a prescription, such as the medicinal form and the dose route. In this video, we're going to attach a prescription to this drug and see how we can use that to track when prescription renewals are due, who they are sitting with, and how we can actually produce a hard copy prescription from Dawn with a single click that you can then send to the prescriber for signing and then on to pharmacy and the home care company. So here's the drug we added last time. If I click on that, that takes me through to the drugs tab. We talked a little bit about recording dose histories last time, but this time let's look at the prescriptions tab. I start by adding a new record to the prescriptions tab, and that creates a new prescription record for this patient and this drug. I can choose the prescription type. In this case it's new, it might be continuing, it might be a dose change, or anything else that the prescription templates from the different home care companies might require you to put on the form. And of course I will choose who the home fulfillment company is, in this case Healthcare at Home. If I know the purchase order number and I need that kind of included on the prescription, I can put it here, otherwise I can leave that blank. I can choose who the prescriber is, and over here I can set the priority, normal or at risk. Renewal date I'm going to leave blank. That will be filled in automatically when I issue it. This is a new prescription, so it doesn't have one at the moment, but we can say how many weeks the prescription runs for, and that can default to a setting in Dawn. And also the number of weeks between home deliveries. So we might say that's 12. If there's a particular date that you need that first delivery and that first administration to take place, you can put that in here. Then I scroll down and I have all the same dosing options I have on the patient drug. But don't worry, you don't have to type them all again. I just press this button, populate from patient drug record, and that pulls all the dosing details through. There we go. Now up here I have a number of options. Pass to prescriber, issue, that's when it goes to pharmacy or goes to the home fulfillment company. Stop, this is the prescription is stopped, they're stopping that drug, so you don't want it to renew anymore. Reactivate is really if you've just pressed, we'll see in a moment, if you've got an active prescription, one that's been issued, when it's coming up for renewal, you can press renew to start to get it into this pending status where you can do all these things with it. If you do that by accident, reactivate just puts it back to active. And we have on hold. We'll come to that in a moment. Now, if everything was ready to go, I would print the prescription, and we'll look at how we do that in a second, and press pass to prescriber to change the status to pending with prescriber. However, Dawn is actually alerting me to the fact that we're missing some test results. And if we click on this link, it takes me to the patient screen, so I can see we're actually due some in April, so we're a little overdue. So that prescription may have stayed open with us as we chased up the results, but as if by magic, they've miraculously appeared right in front of me now. So we're right up to date now, and if we go back to our prescription record, it's telling me that we're not awaiting test results anymore, but there are some abnormal results waiting review. If I flick to the rheumatology tab, I can see very quickly and easily that it's the serum creatinine and the potassium. Once whoever is responsible for looking at those has reviewed them, when I go back to the prescription, there's no outstanding work. Now I can print the prescription at any point and pass it to the prescriber, just as I'm going to do in a moment. If I was to issue the prescription and there was outstanding work showing, Dawn would actually stop me unless I tick a checkbox saying it's okay to do that. But now I want to go ahead and print the prescription, and I can do that very easily using this print prescription button. I don't need to know which template to use for healthcare at home and touts. Behind the scenes, I can associate a template with a drug. So all I have to do is click the button and Dawn knows which prescription template to use. Here it comes up. I could just press the print button now to print that out, and it will print out a form that looks like this with the correct home care company logo on, the name of the drug in its kind of biosimilar and generic forms, our prescription status, the details of the hospital and the department, the patient. If I'd put an address in for this test patient, it would show here. Here we have the correct checkbox for the patient's diagnosis is already ticked for us, the date of birth, NHS number or automatically filled in. That's where the blue text reference would be showing had I filled it out on the drug record. Further down, we didn't record an induction dose, so those options are left blank. But here for the maintenance dose, we see our 80 milligrams every 4 weeks by subcutaneous injection, and we're doing that with a pre-filled pen. Further down are just the boxes for the prescriber and the pharmacist to sign. So now I have the hard copy, which I will pass to the prescriber, but I want to reflect that in Dawn. So what I can do here is press the Pass to Prescriber button, and that just changes the prescription status to with prescriber. This is popping up a box to tell me it's automatically generated that prescription record. I didn't really need it to do that because I'd done it manually. But so this is an option. You can automate this with the press of that button if you so wish. Otherwise, you can leave it entirely manual. What I may also need to do, because this is a new prescription for this patient on this drug, so healthcare at home may not have their details already, is that I'll need to print a patient registration form. And just as we can with prescriptions, associate a message template with a drug, we can do this for the registration form as well. So again, it's a one-click process, and that will bring up a new registration letter, which I can print out. And you can see it looks like the forms you're already familiar with. Most of this filled out for you. But until we're ready to issue the prescription, we need to track who it's with. If the home care company rings us or the patient rings us, we'll need to know who has the prescription and what stage it's at. And this is where this status comes in. So in the next video, we're going to look at how we can use list views and dashboard panels to track where prescriptions are. We'll also look at putting prescriptions on hold and issuing prescriptions.